Ever think about like digging up some ancient relic, some, I don't know, forgotten tool, and it turns out it's the key to like revolutionizing a whole industry.
It's like finding a blueprint, but not just any blueprint, one that's been refined over millions of years.
And today we're talking about molecular blueprints. We're diving into the world of ancestral enzymes.
Enzymes, those microscopic machines that drive, well, pretty much every biological process.
Our deep dive today is based on some really cool research from the journal BBA Proteins and Proteomics, all about a family of these enzymes called lipases, or acyltransferases.
They're kind of a big deal. Think about how your body breaks down fats and oils. Yeah, that's them, but they're also used in a bunch of industries already. Biofuels, pharmaceuticals, you name it.
So we've already got these right. What's so special about this research?
This dives into a specific one, PaleoLAc, and it's like the ancestor of this whole enzyme family.
Hold on, back up. Ancestor. How do you even find something like that?
Ancestral sequence reconstruction, it's like comparing the genes of modern enzymes to trace back their family tree.
So you can like predict what the genes of their ancestors look like?
Exactly, and then, get this, they can actually recreate these ancient proteins in a lab.
Wow, so they brought this PaleoLAc back to life. Why go through all that trouble? What makes it different?
2 words: versatility, resilience. This thing can interact with a wider range of molecules, tougher conditions than anything we see today.
So it's like finding an ancient tool that's not just fascinating, but it's actually better than what we've got.
And that's where things get really interesting, especially for industrial applications. I mean, think about the extreme environments in a lot of these processes. High temperatures, weird pH levels, harsh chemicals.
Enzymes would just fall apart.
Exactly. But PaleoLAc, it's built for it. And that opens a world of possibilities.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. The paper talks about PaleoLAC's acyltransfer activity. What in the world is that?
Don't let the fancy word throw you off. Basically, it means this enzyme can rearrange molecules to build new ones.
So it's like a molecular builder, taking things apart, putting them back together in new ways.
Exactly.
Gotcha, but how good is it at this? Is it like super fast, efficient?
Well, it's classified as a class 2 acyltransferase, so, not the fastest in its family, but it's got a neat trick. Imagine a factory that doesn't just tolerate high temperatures, but actually works better in the heat.
Okay, getting a bit sci-fi now, but I'm following.
That's PaleoLAc. Methanol, it's a common solvent used in industry, right? Well, it really messes with its close relative, CPLIP2, but PaleoLAc thrives on it.
So it's not just tough, it actually gets a boost from something that cripples others. Now, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Does this mean we've been missing out? Like underestimating these ancient enzymes?
Absolutely. And get this, there are similarities between PaleoLAc and this completely different enzyme, CALA.
So it's like finding a missing link.
It's challenging everything we thought we knew about how these things evolved.
This is already sounding bigger than just one enzyme. What else is special about PaleoLAc? So PaleoLAc, this ancient enzyme, it's tough, it's got a thing for methanol, but what about its tastes? How picky of an eater is it?
You're thinking about substrate specificity, a fundamental concept when we're talking enzymes.
Substrate specificity.
It's like a lock and key, right?
Yeah.
The enzyme's the lock, and the molecule it works on, its substrate, that's the key.
Okay, so only the right key fits the lock? Only certain molecules work with certain enzymes?
And PaleoLAc, well, it's got a particular taste compared to its modern relatives, really prefers those C10 fatty acids.
C10, what's so special about that?
Fatty acids, think of them like chains of carbon atoms. The C is for carbon. The number, in this case 10, tells you how long that chain is.
Got it. So what, PaleoLAc only likes chains with 10 carbons?
Pretty much. Some of its relatives prefer 8 or 16, completely ignore the 12 carbon ones. PaleoLAc. It's all about that C10, like picky eater at a buffet.
So we've got a specialist, even among enzymes. Does that give it an edge?
It definitely suggests a specific role way back when in its ancient environment. Tells us something about its structure, too. Enzymes have these active sites. That's where they bind to their substrates.
So PaleoLAC's active site, it's specifically shaped to grab those C10 chains.
Bingo. Structure dictates function, even at the molecular level. And it's not just fatty acids they looked at. The research also delved into esters.
Esters, those are what? Perfumes, flavorings?
You got it. But they're also important building blocks for a lot of bigger molecules, biofuels, plastics, you name it.
So how does PaleoLAc handle those? Different from the fatty acids?
Things get even weirder, actually. It can work with both, but seems to have a slight preference for esters.
Okay.
Here's the kicker. Compared to this other enzyme, PaleoLAc and its whole family, they're way better at actually making new esters from fatty acids.
So it likes esters, but it's better at building them from scratch. That's counterintuitive.
Tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
One theory is it's got something to do with the shape of that active site we talked about, or maybe how it interacts with charged molecules. Still a bit of a mystery.
A scientific cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Love it. But big picture, what does all this mean? We keep talking about applications.
Think about it. An enzyme that can handle extreme conditions, work with different starting materials, and efficiently churn out valuable molecules.
And because it's an enzyme, it's doing this cleanly, sustainably.
We're talking biofuel production, new materials, even medicine.
A potential revolution, all from this one ancient enzyme. Incredible. So PaleoLAc, it's versatile, efficient, picky eater. But there's one more thing, right? This resilience to temperature. It can handle the heat.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We're talking about an enzyme that's active across a much wider temperature range than most of its modern counterparts.
So most enzymes, they're kind of like Goldilocks. They need things to be just right.
Some of them, yeah, especially the ones that like it cold. Think about it, they've evolved for optimal performance in those specific environments.
But heat them up a little too much and
Poof, they fall apart. Too delicate.
And PaleoLAc is like, what? The opposite.
Built for tough conditions, can handle those higher temperatures without breaking a sweat.
Which is perfect for industrial applications,
Yeah.
right? Those processes can get pretty intense.
Huge advantage. Means less downtime, fewer replacements, just overall more efficient.
So let's do a final recap here. PaleoLAc. Versatile, efficient, picky about its molecules, and it can take the heat. It's like the ultimate enzyme multi-tool. But this is bigger than just one enzyme, right? What does this tell us about, like, the future of enzyme engineering?
This is what gets me excited, this idea that we can look to the past for innovation. We're not just digging up fossils, we're unlocking solutions.
It's like we've been so busy inventing new tools, we forgot about the ones our ancestors might have left behind.
And we're just getting started. This is one enzyme family. Imagine applying this to, I don't know, anything. The possibilities are, well, endless.
It's like having a time machine for science. So, to our listeners, think about this. If we can find something like PaleoLAc with these amazing capabilities after millions of years, what else is out there? What other groundbreaking discoveries are just waiting to be unearthed, ready to change the world?